Hello, you're watching Vnews Bulletin. I'm from Hanoi. Now take a look at top stories as usual. Government leaders of Vietnam, China hold phone talks. Hanoi inaugurates Cát Hà Đông Metro Line. Standard Chartered forecasts Vietnam's GDP growth at 6.7%. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính on January 13th held phone talks with Chinese Premier Li Keqiang as two countries are celebrating their 72nd anniversary of the bilateral ties, January 18, 1950, 2022. Prime Minister Chính affirmed that the traditional friendship and comprehensive strategic cooperative partnership between Vietnam and China is the top priority in Vietnam's foreign policy. Regarding the goods congestion at the border gates between the two countries, Chính underlined that both sides should coordinate closely and adopt effective and drastic solutions to this problem. The Vietnamese leader also asked China to continue increasing imports and accelerating the opening of its market to some agricultural products of Vietnam. Sharing his Vietnamese counterpart's view, Premier Li stressed that China attaches great importance to the ties with Vietnam. Li highlighted his attention to Vietnam's recommendations about economic, trade and investment links, considering this an important field in bilateral cooperation. He suggested both sides set up a joint working group to continue dealing with the goods congestion at border gates, thereby facilitating Vietnamese farm produce entry to China and maintain the trade flow. The two government leaders also agreed to maintain channels of discussion about land border and sea-related issues, promote consensus, iron out differences, and maintain common peace and stability. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính on January 13th chaired a meeting of the National Steering Committee for implementing Vietnam's commitments at the 26th UN Climate Change Conference of the Parties. At the meeting, the steering committee discussed a number of measures to implement the commitments. Among others is the project on implementing Vietnam's commitments at COP26 and the steering committee's agenda in 2022. Prime Minister Chính said that the implementation of the above commitments has both advantages and difficulties. Therefore, he stressed Vietnam needs to mobilize the entire political system and all resources both at home and abroad to participate in the work. The government leader requested members of the committee, ministries and agencies to actively engage in the effort. He added that in 2022, a master program must be issued. The Ministry of Transport, in collaboration with the Hanoi Municipal People's Committee and the Chinese Embassy in Vietnam, organized an inauguration ceremony for the Cát Hà Đông Metro Line, the first of its kind in Vietnam, on January 13. The Metro Line, one of the 8 urban railway projects connecting the city downtown and satellite urban areas, aims to reduce traffic overload in the western part of the capital city. It was put into operation on November 6, 2021. After more than 2 months of operation, the Metro Line has been running smoothly and safely. On average, the line transports nearly 15,000 passengers per day. With total investment of around $886 million funded by Chinese ODA, the elevated line is more than 13 kilometers long and has 12 stations and 13 trains. Standard Chartered Bank forecasts Vietnam's recovery will accelerate markedly in 2022, with GDP growing by 6.7%.
The forecast is highlighted in the bank's recently published global research report titled Still Battling Headwinds, and Vietnam-focused macroeconomic research report titled Vietnam Moving Back to High Growth. According to Standard Chartered's economists, exports should be supported in 2022 by a continued improvement in the global trade environment, although import growth is likely to remain high. The State Bank of Vietnam is expected to keep its policy rate on hold at 4% in 2022 to support credit growth and manage inflation risks. Standard Chartered Bank maintains its medium-term constructive view on the Vietnamese dong amid expectations of a strong balance of payments. The rapid pace of appreciation since July reflects more flexible exchange rate management by the central bank. The Vietnamese dong is almost the best performing emerging market currencies in 2021.
Vietnam ranked third in the world in terms of rubber export value, with $3.24 billion in 2021, up 36.2% year-on-year, according to the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development.
Vietnamese rubber has been present in more than 80 countries and territories, and the sector has penetrated more intensively in major markets. The rubber sector makes up a large share of countries' agricultural product exports, with tires, globes, and rubber gaskets considered drivers of the industry. Last year, the Vietnam Rubber Group churned out 402,900 tons of rubber latex, surpassing its set target by 6% and up 30,000 tons from the previous year. The Association of Natural Rubber Producing Countries forecasts that the global rubber demand will increase in the time ahead due to loosened travel restrictions and the reopening of borders by countries helping to resume economic activities. Therefore, rubber prices will remain high this year, the association said. The Vietnam Rubber Group said the rubber sector is working to achieve the target of building a sustainable and competitive rubber industry.
The Vietnam Association of Seafood Exporters and Producers said revenue from shellfish exports is expected to reach $1.7 billion thanks to adaptation efforts of businesses and effective support from the state.
Last year, shellfish production and export were adversely affected by COVID-19, especially in the third quarter, when export revenue reached only $295 million, down 21% year-on-year. As of November, total export revenue of the product was $1.4 billion, and the result for the whole year was estimated at $1.54 billion. However, some silver linings of the cloud were seen during the year, with strong growth in the U.S., one of the major markets of Vietnamese shellfish, at 48% year-on-year rise in the first 11 months of 2021 to $324 million. Rises were also seen in Mexico, Brazil, Colombia, and Russia. The association said that shellfish production in 2022 will be similar to that of last year at about 1.5 million tons, of which about 1 million tons will be exported.
In the 3 years it has been implemented in Central Highlands province of Đắk Nông, the One Commune, One Product program has received a warm response from local people, enterprises, and cooperatives. The province has introduced the brand names for a number of products with a sharp competitive edge under the program, contributing to improving incomes of local people.
From a group of households growing pepper, 4 years later, the 63-member Bình Tiến Pepper Cooperative cultivates organic pepper on an area of 160 hectares. The price of organic pepper is 20 to 30% higher than the regular equivalent. The pepper is exported to India.
We faced difficulties in the past when introducing our unknown OCO products to supermarkets. After receiving the program's recognition, our products have now gained a firm foothold in the market.
Đắk Minh is a fine example of the OCOP program in Đắk Nông. The district has 13 OCOP products, including Đắk Đam coffee and Sachu oil. Greater focus will be given to improving its OCOP products. Đắk Nông province has been implemented the OCOP program since 2018. To date, 41 products have received the OCOP title. 11 more have sought recognition after meeting OCOP standards.
Among our OCOP products, 8 are on trading floors of the Ministries of Agriculture and Rural Development. Since last year, we have focused on 3 main pillars: agriculture, industry, and tourism.
OCOP products play a key role in linking the tourism and agriculture sectors. The program is a new method for developing Đắk Nông economy.
The 31st Southeast Asian Games and the 11th ASEAN Para Games have launched their official slogan as for stronger Southeast Asia.
According to the Vietnam Sports Administration, the slogan is expected to send to governments and people in the region a strong message of solidarity to build a powerful ASEAN community and further promote its role in the international arena. Earlier, the regional sports event's official logo and mascot had been introduced, with a logo symbolizing a flying bird and a V-shaped hand, and the mascot based on the sao la, a rare animal listed in Vietnam's Red Book of Endangered Species. The National Steering Committee for the organization of SEA Games 31 agreed that the latest meeting to set the date for the regional sport event on May 12 to 23, 2022.
Visa, the world's leading digital payment service provider, has reported great pent-up appetite for travel among Vietnamese in its Voice of the Consumer survey, which found that as many as 76% of respondents are planning to travel for leisure within the country, far higher than the 38% planning overseas trips.
The COVID-19 pandemic has had a significant impact on all aspects of travel, with health and safety dominant in all considerations, from destination to means of transport. As a particular consequence of the pandemic, people are rediscovering their immediate surroundings, giving rise to the growing trend of staycation, vacations in their own city. Around a third of respondents said they would be planning, booking, or having a staycation as soon as possible if there are no longer any government restrictions. 30% would also visit local attractions. Since the pandemic, Vietnamese travelers have had to call off travel plans and had to find alternative outlets for their wanderlust. Accordingly, there has been a spike in online travel as Vietnamese travelers viewed more travel-related photos and videos, filling out their bucket list. More than half, 53% of respondents watched YouTube travel videos, and 40% took to travel sites on social media as an alternative, and as many as 38% took a virtual tour online.